How do you ask for money without seeming rude? This is a question I've been seeing a little bit all over nonprofit talk and different fundraising consultants. So I thought I would give my take on this question. So, first of all, you have to separate your emotions from other people's money. Separate your emotions, the anxiety you feel, the projecting of how you would feel if someone asked you for 1,000 or 10,000 or $100,000. You have to separate that from other people's money. This is hard work. This is hard work. So I used to be a phone-a-thon caller. That's how I started out in fundraising. So I spent a lot of time, many phone calls getting used to this, getting used to just asking, and pulling my own emotions out of that conversation. The second thing is that you need to do this because people with wealth don't think about money the same way that most of us do. When you have way more than you actually need for your day to day needs, and you even get to do a lot of extra things with your money, and a lot of your money is in investments, you are thinking about wealth in a different way. You're thinking about what kind of impact that money can have. You're thinking about how that money can form a legacy for you or for that organization. You're thinking about tax advantages. You're thinking about a lot of things that we are not thinking about. We're thinking about how to get to the next paycheck. We're thinking about how to afford for larger purposes and to save. Um, People with extreme wealth do not think about money in the same way that most of us do. So you have to take your emotions out of it because it's a very different situation. Number 3, asking is a natural outgrowth of relationship. It should be a completely organic process that happens because you've spent time with this person. You know what they're about, they know what your organization is about. And at this point, it is just formalizing how they can help. It is asking them and giving them the courtesy of presenting a concept that they can choose to participate in. So, asking shouldn't be weird and awkward. It shouldn't be something out of left field. It should be something that they've come to expect because it's part of your ongoing relationship with them. So I know that's kind of hard to believe right now, but when you spend a lot of time with these major donors and they're invested in your success, then they want to be asked. They're expecting to be asked. It's part of the organic process of the relationship. And 4, people give money, especially large amounts of money, to see their values at work in the world. So you have to show them what's possible. And when you do that, when you show them what their gifts will be able to accomplish at your organization, then asking is organic. They want to be a part of the project. It just becomes the next natural step, again, in the relationship, in the progression of your relationship with the organization, because ultimately fundraisers are relationship managers, and that's what you're there for. You're here for that back and forth of them telling you what they're about, what values they want to see in the world, what good they want to help put into the world, and then you are telling them how your org matches that. And the last piece of this, how do you ask for money without being rude? Practice, practice, practice. Practice is the only thing that overcomes your fear. I used to tell my daughter the antidote to fear is practice. The more afraid you are, the more often you should be doing the thing that you're afraid of in order to build that muscle memory, so to speak, with asking or with anything that you're afraid to do. So, you've got to separate your emotions from people's money, because a lot of what your fear of being rude is not because you've actually been rude when you're asking. It's because you need to remove your emotions from the situation. You're actually just afraid that you'll be perceived as rude. And you probably won't, because wealthy people view money differently than you or I do. Trust me on this. The more you get to know wealthy people and what they're about, they don't view money in the same way. And asking is the natural outgrowth of a two-way relationship between your organization and the donor, facilitated by you as the fundraiser or CEO. And people give to see their values at work in the world, and you need to show them how they can do that through your organization as a conduit for helping their values at work in the world. So if their values are that they believe education is the key to a good and prosperous life, and they got a scholarship when they were in school, so they want to pass that along, their values there are that education is the key to a good and prosperous life, and they're going to give to perpetuate that value in the world. And the last is always practice, practice, practice. The antidote to fear is practice. That's the only thing that will make you less afraid, is to do it and do it and do it. So if you have other tips for how you overcame your fear of asking and of seeming rude, drop them in the comments. If you have more questions about any piece that I just said, put it in the comments, and make sure that you follow for more, because I'm going to be going into the actual details of what constitutes an ask of a prospect and some other things like this. They're going to help you hone and sharpen your skills so that this is not so much of a mystery.